What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Plus Unit Picks. Like, subscribe, and drop a comment right now and send it to somebody right now that can utilize this information, because tonight is NBA Finals Game 1. Yes, but that's right, Game 1. Real quick on the recap, keeping it completely honest. On our free plays yesterday on MLB, we went 1 and 2. Abbott came out. He came through for us, right? He locked in. He was never in danger on the stat line. But Martin and Uvalde, they both got torched, man. So the Royals and the Twins lineups came out swinging, and both the pitchers got lit up in a way that we did not expect or account for. Martin especially, that's a guy with 1.61 ERA, and he just had a bad night. The bats woke up against him. So we'll own it and move on. Tonight we're back on the NBA side. It does not get better than this, guys, or bigger than this. NBA Finals Game 1, Knicks and Spurs in San Antonio. The Knicks have won 11 straight postseason games, and the Spurs clawed back from the brink to knock off the OKC Thunder, the defending champs, in 7 games. So last time these two teams met in the finals was 1999. So San Antonio won in 5. So history's on the line tonight. We've got Wembanyama versus Brunson. Biggest stage in basketball. I have 4 plays that I am locked in on, every single one of them. So stay tuned for that. Sign up on Winnable. The link is in the description. You get access to all of my plays through the free membership. As far as my free plays, I send it directly to your phone the moment I drop it, well before tip-off. Okay? So, with that being said, we're going to get into the card. Just before we do, you should tell these plays on Underdog. If you're not on Underdog yet, you're totally missing out. Use my code PLUS, P-L-U-S, that you see right here on the screen and also at the bottom of the screen. That gives you access to, basically, if you bet $5 on their platform, you get a $50 deposit just by betting $5 as a new user on their platform. Very easy to do. Send me a screenshot that you signed up. I'll give you a paid, a free membership, essentially, that's normally paid for through my VIP and Winnable. So that's Underdog. If you're already on Underdog, check out Novig. Novig by far has one of the best options out there as well for new users, where if you also spend $5 on their platform or bet $5, you get a $50 deposit bonus. So use my code PLUSUNIT, P-L-U-S-U-N-I-T. You see that right here on the screen? That unlocks the bonus. So that's essentially 2 bonuses, guys. Go to the App Store, Google Play Store, download the apps, and make it happen. Easy way to stack your bankroll with no risk. So do it the right way. Don't do it the wrong way. Seriously. With that being said, we're going to move into the first play of Game 1. And we're going to take De'Aaron Fox. We're going to take De'Aaron Fox. We're going to fade De'Aaron on points and rebounds at 19.5. So the reason why I like this one is Fox has been one of the most important players in the Spurs' entire playoff run, but this combined number is right at his ceiling, not his floor. He averaged 19.2 points and 4-point rebounds on the season at 24 combined, but in the Western Conference Finals against OKC, he had multiple games where he went well under the number when the defensive pressure ramped up. So tonight, the Knicks, a team on an 11-game winning streak, playing historically dominant basketball, the Knicks are going to throw OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges at Fox all night, 2 of the most physical wing defenders, in my opinion, in the league. So in Game 1 specifically, teams play conservatively, and stars tend to be more measured. So Fox's rebound numbers are inconsistent, and his points have fluctuated significantly in big road games. So his floor in hostile environments is right around 14 to 18 combined. We're going to dive into the numbers really quick. Over the past 5 games, if you faded him on points and rebounds, primarily over the past 3 games on points and rebounds, you would have cashed all 3 tickets at 100%, but over 5 games, you would have cashed only 60% of your tickets, which is still a great stat line. The head-to-head matchup as far as De'Aaron versus the Knicks this season, I believe he was with Sacramento for one of these games before the trade, but later basically earlier in the season, he only had 16 points and 2 rebounds. He had one outlier performance where he had 26 points and 1 rebound. Both of those games were earlier in the season, but then the late game on March 1st, he only had 7 points and 3 rebounds. And the Knicks happened to be the top 10 team against opposing point guards in points allowed. They're top 10 in the league, and they're number 1 in rebounds allowed against opposing point guards. The Knicks can really rebound. I mean, they kind of have a small lineup except for Cat, but I mean, those guys can rebound. Josh Hart, Bridges, not so much, but Josh Hart, Anunoby, a lot of those guys can rebound on the wing. So lock that in. We're going to take, for the second pick, we're going to take Dylan Harper. We're going to take him on the over for rebounds and assists. Harper is healthy and back in the lineup after the hamstring scare in the Western Conference Finals. And this number is well within his range as one of San Antonio's primary secondary creators. His season average on rebounds and assists combined, sit well above 6.5. And in a finals game where he's going to be asked to create, facilitate, and attack the glass, his floor is comfortably at 7 to 9 combined. So the Knicks are going to be focused defensively on Wembanyama and Fox. That creates space for Harper to operate freely and generate assists on the weak side. He's a gifted playmaker and rebounder. In the final stage, it's not too big for him, I don't think. This is his first finals, but hey, his dad is Ron Harper, so he kind of, gives him that Del Curry, Steph Curry, maybe Pat Mahomes Sr., the Pat Mahomes Jr. effect, right? They know how to be professionals and play on the big stage, so I don't think it's going to get to him. Take that as the second pick on the over for rebounds and assists for Dylan Harper. We're just going to check out the numbers really quick. Over the past 5 games, if you would have taken him on the over at 6.5, you're cashing 80% of your tickets. Primarily over the past 4, you're cashing all 4 at 100%. And then over the past 10 games, you're cashing at 80% for 8 out of 10. So I like that a lot. Strong stat lines there. The third pick, we're going to go with Josh Hart. We're going to take Josh Hart on the over on assist, over 4.5 assists. Josh Hart has been one of the most complete players in the NBA this season, and his assist numbers tell the full story. He averaged 7.8 assists per game this season, nearly 3.5 full assists above this number. So in the postseason, he's been averaging about over 6 assists per game consistently. Hart is Brunson's primary running mate. They go all the way back to Villanova. They got a weird relationship, in my opinion. Anyway, but they run a nice half-court pick and roll. Of course with Cat too. But when Brunson draws Wembanyama's attention on pick coverage, Hart is going to find open teammates all night. So he's one of the most efficient passers in the entire league, and 4.5 is his absolute floor. And then just in a normal game with normal playing time. So we're going to look at the stats on Outlier just to see what supports it. Over the past 5 games, if you would have taken him on the over for 4.5 assists, you would have cashed 60% of your tickets. Primarily over the past 3 games, you would have cashed 100% of your tickets over the past 3. So he's on a 3-game streak. Over the past 10 games, it's a little bit lower at 50%, 5 out of 10. And the head-to-head matchup that I like, primarily on March 1st, that's the most recent matchup, Josh Hart had 7 assists. He had an underwhelming performance earlier in the season against the Spurs with only 3 assists. And then going back to last season, he had about 6 and 7 assists in his matchups against the Spurs. So the recent form is 7 on March 1st, so I'm going with that. I really like that one. That's the third pick. And before we move to the fourth and final pick, guys, again, check out Underdog. Use my code PLUS, P-L-U-S. They're offering the new users a $50 bonus just by betting $5 on their platform. If you're already on the Underdog, check out Novig. use my code PLUSUNIT, PLUSUNIT. They also have a spend $5, $50 bonus for new users. With that being said, we're going to move into the fourth and final pick of NBA Finals Game 1. And we're going to take no other than Mikal Bridges on the over for 17.5 points and assists. Bridges has been a key piece to the Knicks' historic 11-game run, and his consistency has been absolutely remarkable, right? He averages 14.4 points and 3.7 assists, 18.1 combined on the season. Already above this number, in the Eastern Conference Finals sweep against Cleveland, he's delivering 17 to 22 points and assists every single game. So, coming into Game 1 of the NBA Finals, Bridges is going to be aggressive and confident, I think, after one of the postseason runs of his career, one of the best of his career, I should say. So the Spurs are going to be locked in on Brunson and Cat offensively. That creates exactly the kind of spacing that Bridges thrives in. He can hit the corner three. He's a slasher to a certain extent. He cuts to the basket. He pretty much does everything on, both sides of not everything, but he does a lot for his position on both sides. He's like that 3-and-D guy, kind of a two-way player. So finding clean looks in transition and from mid-range, that's a part of his game also. So I think his floor in this system with the amount of confidence is right at 18 combined, and he can go higher than that in my opinion. Really quick, let's look at the numbers over the past 5 games. Look at this, 100%. He is on points and assists at 17.5. If you would have taken him on the over, you're cashing 100% of your tickets. So yeah, come on. This is a no-brainer. Over the past 10 games, it's at 90%, 9 out of 10. 20 games, it's at 50%. The head-to-head matchup on March 1st, he balled out 25 points, 2 assists. So I like this a lot. That's going to be the fourth and final pick, guys. Lock that in. Just a quick recap. We've got De'Aaron Fox on the under for 19.5 points and rebounds. We've got Dylan Harper on the over for 6.5 rebounds and assists. And then we've got Josh Hart on the over for 4.5 assists. And then lastly, we have Mikal Bridges on the over for 17.5 points and assists. So that is your NBA Finals Game 1 card, guys. Let me know down below in the comments what you like versus what you didn't like, what you're going to tell versus what you're going to fade. And I will see you guys in the next one. Later.